Well, this came out of nowhere. Hollywood has been bleeding productions for years, with studios ditching California for states with better tax incentives and less red tape. Some big-name Texas-based A-list actors led by Matthew McConaughey are seeing this as an opportunity and are making moves to bring this more major film projects to the Lone Star State. They're pushing for new state incentives that could make Texas the next big hub for movie making, and today we're breaking down what they did in addition to telling you in detail why this might not be a good plan. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
You ever wonder if this industry of ours is just chasing its own tail?
No. I don't wonder. Restrictions, regulations, nickel and diamond productions, political lectures. Hollywood, it's a flat circle wood, round and round like a record with the sound off.
So what, you just want to turn the record off?
No. I want to change the tune.
You know, I got a CD of Jonas Brothers B-sides, real deep cuts.
Look, this industry's like somebody's memory of an industry. And the memory's fading. I'm talking about a whole new hub for film and television, a renaissance, a rebirth.
How about a wholesale takeover?
Yeah. Small fraction of Texas budget surplus could turn this state into the new Hollywood.
Well, but we're not going to call it Hollywood. We'll call it, like, Fort Worth, Beaumont,
Austin,
Houston,
El Paso,
Longview.
McAllen.
Ain't all that money like corporate welfare for big Hollywood studios?
No, what is not.
Lumber yards, restaurants, hotels, housing, thousands of jobs.
Real Texas business owners and citizens. You see, every dollar spent from this incentive puts $4 back in the state of Texas.
That's good ROI.
Productions happen where incentives are.
Texas has the best land, best culture.
So why not the best incentives?
And look, it's not just films with A-list talent either. It's also the independents, commercials, local music videos.
They utilize local infrastructure. So you got all that out-of-state money going into Texans' pockets.
So what do you say, Texas legislature? You don't like what Hollywood's been dishing? Let's take over the kitchen. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that is groundbreaking until you take into consideration the fact that they did something similar a couple years ago. But to be fair, I have to give a bit of background here. Louisiana became the first state to introduce film state tax incentives in 1992, hoping to attract Hollywood productions and boost the local economy. After a couple of changes, the program was a success and sparked a nationwide trend, with other states jumping on the bandwagon. One of the biggest turning points came in 2002, when New Mexico launched an aggressive tax incentive program that included, quote, a tax rebate of up to 25% of qualifying production expenses, including actor salaries. This move turned Albuquerque into a major filming hub, leading to shows like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul calling it home. Georgia took a step further in 2008, introducing some of the most generous incentives in the country, including a 20% base tax credit and an additional 10% if productions included the Georgia Peach logo in their credits. By 2009, nearly every state had a tax incentive program in place in the hopes of attracting productions, with the promise of great return of investment on every tax dollar spent. You might be thinking right now, well, gee, if everyone has such programs, what's going on in Hollywood then? Well, I'll let Dennis Quaid do the explanation.
Dennis, how difficult is it to make a film in the state of California these days?
Well, I can't remember the last time I made a film in California, to tell you the truth. You know, they still do their game shows there and talk shows and stuff, but everybody films in Georgia or Oklahoma or whatever because it doesn't matter where it's supposed to take place because it's cheaper. You know, they're getting 30 up to 40% of their money back, you know, through tax credits there. And we want Texas to compete with that and at the same time build an industry. And, you know, there's a lot of people in Texas, and I don't blame them, that look on this as a, you know, Hollywood giveaway, as a welfare program for them. But it's not. You know, the money is brought from the outside. It's spent in the state. Not on actors. I get paid already to begin with.
This was in 2023, by the way, when the same group of actors were trying to push for the state of Texas to increase its tax incentives for movie productions, And they succeeded. They took it from $22.5 million to $200 million for 2024 and 2025. And now they're looking to increase that amount to around $500 million. All of it being taxpayer money. By the way, I've noticed you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, so what are you waiting for? Now, seeing the recent push by these actors to double the current incentives, Brian Harrelson, who is a Republican Texas state representative, took it to X saying, quote, "Anti-Doge alert. The Texas government is proposing to have your property taxes be $500 million higher so they can give it to liberal Hollywood. I will oppose the liberal Texas moving image industry incentive. Texans are overtaxed, and Hollywood doesn't need your money." With Brady Gray, who is the Parker County chair, adding, quote, "I'm all for Texas-based content and good stories. Taylor Sheridan has done a great job with it, but the Texas legislature fawning over liberal Democrats, begging to bring the culture that helped destroy California to Texas is beyond idiotic. If McConaughey and co. want to tell Texas stories, they can use the millions they've amassed to do so. They don't need the hard-earned tax dollars of everyday Texans." Amen to that, my friend. But Dennis has an economic argument to make for these pushes, so let's hear what he said in the 2-year-old interview, which was also somewhat repeated in their recent video.
And Dennis, I'm sure the state income tax situation in Texas has nothing to do with this either, right?
Well, I'm sure it has a lot to do with there is no state income tax. That's what makes it very attractive. But, you know, Texas did a really good job of taking a big share of the tech industry away from Silicon Valley. If you go down to Austin, you can see that really clearly. And the same thing can be done with movies and television shows. It's a great place to shoot. And, you know, it's kind of like, think of the California gold rush, Jesse. You know, it's like a few people did strike it rich, but the people who really made money were the shopkeepers and people selling shovels and spades and stuff like that, who were doing other things besides mining for gold. And that's kind of what would happen here.
Yep, the California gold rush, something that happened almost 2 centuries ago. This sales tactic was also used by Jordan Belfort to unload penny stocks and make a ton of money. Listen, I'm not just criticizing here for the sake of being a hater. I actually respect these legendary actors. However, there have been numerous studies that question the real impact of these incentive programs. In April of last year, the New York Times published an article on this exact topic and found that, quote, "States had given out more than $25 billion over the past 2 decades to subsidize the making of movies and television." Adding, quote, "Studies show that these efforts typically return a quarter or even a dime on every dollar given to studios." Another study that was published in the European Journal of Science Research concluded that, quote, "Competition among local states to attract film productions does not, in fact, create new jobs. Rather, it only relocates a similar number of jobs from one region to another." So what was once regarded as a successful strategy is basically turned into a race to the bottom, where taxpayer money is being spent on nonsense instead of going to solve problems that affect everyday people. I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And if you want your friends to be as informed as you are, please share the video with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.